Here you can see I'm doing a water change on the fish tank. It's a saltwater fish tank. It's got a lot of live corals in there, and it's got about 7 fish, maybe 8. But you can see that red slime. That red slime algae, it's covering the glass. I scraped that off about a week ago, and it just keeps growing back. Probably because of lack of maintenance. The water has got a lot of basically feces, fish feces. So anyways, it's from lack of maintenance. It's because I haven't done enough water changes. You're supposed to do basically at least a 20% water change once a month. And this is a 50-gallon tank, plus I have all this water filtration down here. There's probably about another 10 gallons down there. So it's about a 60-gallon total. So 20% of that, you know. So I'm just going to do here, I got 10 gallons of water going. I already added the salt, checked the levels and all that. Everything's good to go. You can see I got a heater in there getting it to the right temperature and a pump circulating the water. I got the salinity level right. I still need to add some, I think it's called prime, to make sure the ammonia levels and all that are nice and low. So when I put it in the fish tank, it doesn't hurt the fish at all. You don't want to, you know, damage them, or not damage them. You don't want to stress them out any more than they're already stressed out from these high toxic levels of waste in the water. So you can see the corals in there. You know, those are live mushrooms and sponge. It's a hairy sponge. Some pulsing zinnias. Got some zoos on there, but it's not doing too good because it's getting smothered by that red slime algae. Got to get rid of that. Show you a side view here. So this side view is just completely slimed up. You can't even see through the glass. Show you the other side. See? Slimed up big time. This light here is my, it's my moon. Acts as my moon for the fish at night. I tried to make it as realistic as possible. Got a bunch of timers down there. You know, one for the bottom light right there. And then 2 of them. One is for the blue light under the lid here. One's for the blue light. And then the other one is for the white light. As you can see, all my, you know, this is all real dirty because I haven't touched it in a while. But I'm going to show you when I'm all finished how clean it looks. You can see all my plumbing. You know, see how I put a lot of thought into this. I got some cooling fans in the back, keeping it nice and cool. So I'll show you directly behind the tank. If I can get back here. And it's kind of hard to see. But you can see my plumbing there. Pipes going down, underneath, going through a check valve. So anyways, I'm going to get started on this water change, and I'll come back and I'll show you in a few minutes after I get part of this water out. I'm going to use a scraper to scrape that algae off. Basically it's real thick and slimy, and just when you touch it, it basically comes up in one big piece. It's going to float to the top, and I'm just going to use a little like net to take it off and throw it in the bucket. I'm going to throw it in the bucket, dump some water in there, and I'm going to go get rid of this water. So I'll show you how I do in a little bit. Doing the water change on the fish tank. As you can see, it looks a little bit better. I got the all the slime off the glass. See, it's nice and clear now. It still needs a little bit of a cleaning, but for the most part I got all the nasty stuff off. So you can see there's still a little bit down here. Rock is too close to the glass, so I can't really clean it. A little bit on the trickle filter there. But what I'm hoping is that now that I got all the bacteria and the sediment out of the water, you know, nice, fresh, clean water, I'm hoping I'm thinking that all the remainder of this red slime algae is going to just die off because it doesn't have the bacteria in the water to survive. But anyways, if it doesn't slowly start going away, I'll probably have to do another water change. So, as you can see though, it's looking a lot nicer. You can actually see the fish now. You can see all the corals. They're moving around and I got some other corals in my other tank that I want to move over to this one, and eventually I'm going to. Alright, now I have a fan here blowing down in here because that got all soaking wet. Something happened up here in my trickle filter, or my wet dry vac, or my wet dry filter. The filter here got so nasty, so corroded with crustaceans, and so blocked from cleaning up above that this tube, right below that tube, it got packed with a bunch of slime algae. Anyways, the water wasn't going through the filter anymore and down. It was actually leaking out between that crack, right where the elbow meets the plate. And the water was running along the top, and it ended up dripping over the edge down below. So that's why I used a rag to suck up as much water as I could, and I got a fan blowing on it. It'll probably blow in there for, I'll probably have it blow in there for at least a couple days, just to make sure it's really, really dry. You can see the wood is still wet. See the white spots? That's where it's dry. But anyways, I changed this filter. I stuck a siphon, used a hose to create a siphon, and I sucked out all the crap sitting in the bottom of the wet dry down there, because that's where all the fish feces and all that goes. So it was probably a good 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch of crap in the bottom of that wet dry. You can see there's still a little bit down there, but it's mainly just rock. A little bit of crap left, but I got most of it. And then this is another filter that I created coming out of the wet dry. You can see that tube back there. And it's a 3-layer filter. It's high in the back, steps down into a lower one, and then water falls down into the next chamber. The first one is just a reservoir to fill up, and then it trickles down, or water falls down into the second chamber, which I have filled with Caulerpa. I think it's not Caulerpa. It's the green string algae. I can't think of the name of it right now. It could be Caulerpa. I think Caulerpa's the purple stuff. But anyways, then it water falls again through a filter. I got another sponge filter in there. Water falling down into where the pump is. And you can see the pump. And then the hose comes up into my elbow, for PVC elbow, and then up into a check valve. And then it goes up the back all the way up to the top. So basically though, I did the water change. I sucked most of that water out down there, right here in the wet dry. I sucked it down to where I'm not going to lose suction out of that tube. Because if I lose suction out of that tube over there, right there, then I'll lose the suction. I'll have to recreate that suction. It's too hard of a job to do that, so I just went down just enough to where it wouldn't lose suction. And then I took the remainder of the water out up here. And this water is probably somewhere up about here, and I took it down to about here. So that was about 10 gallons. I think I did just less than 10 gallons because I wanted to make sure I had enough water. But anyways, that's it. It's all done, and I think it came out pretty good.